Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and I'm pleased to announce my good friend Dave is back.
Hello there, mate, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Season 9, Episode 33, Chris. Now, I have to say, I have missed you, but it was so much fun, actually, listening to you and Joe. So I was kind of on the other side of the fence for a bit there, but also, it is good to be back.
Oh, good, mate. It's good. Honestly, and I said it yesterday, the fact that you fucking missed the two best episodes. Well, you haven't. You missed one. The best episode of this series is typical, isn't it, Dave? So,
well, I mean, you say best episodes. Now, Chris, I've been very vocal about how dull and how set up and how forced this series is. And just when I think it can't get any duller, it does something like this. And totally redeems itself. Honestly, Chris, that recoupling episode, I was back in just when I thought I was out. They pulled me back in. And yeah, it was. You were right. I was like, fucking hell, of all the times to be super busy and not able to do the pod and speak to you about it, is this one. But you know what? It almost worked out pretty well because I don't know about you, but I think sometimes, you know, when you critically like think, oh, well, you know, what do we talk about and stuff, and you know, are we going in a bit hard on, you know, this group or that group, and we probably give the girls a bit of an easier time than the guys. Because we're guys, so we know guys better than we know girls. Don't know girls at all, according to our one-star review. so sometimes, you know, we go in on them a bit less. This might sound like hypocrisy when you hear me later, Chris, by the way. But the fact that Joe was going all in on Olivia, I was just laughing my head off. And, you know, probably going in a little bit harder than possibly even you and I would.
She's brilliant, Joe, and a big thanks to her again, Dave. I'm sure we're going to have her on. It was great. The rant, I had to turn my mic off. I was pissing myself laughing. I was like, it's like we're ranting. She was proper going for it. It was really funny. And everyone, the feedback on Joe's been great. Like, everyone, it's just been like, what? Wow, get her on. And then we've got a couple of emails today. Someone's disagreeing, but then turns around and agrees with her. And yeah, it was brilliant, Dave. And it was the fact that, you know, she got tagged in, Dave. You were almost pushed out. It was almost a recoupling, Dave. So you're lucky to be back in, really. Well, and you've come back, and there's been all sorts of changes.
Yeah. Give it a few more episodes, and we might come back to that, to be honest. But no, Joe, she is brilliant, and I've mentioned it before, but I know we do have new listeners all the time. So there's the Slimming Club podcast that she was talking about. Where I first came across Joe's kind of podcast was I secretly recorded my boyfriend, and now, you know, it's a bit after the event now, but honestly, I was just crying listening to that, and you know, Joe and also a co-host as well, so funny, so quick, so witty, and so yeah, I can highly recommend going back to episode 1 and going along this journey, you know, of secretly recording him. And obviously, like I say, it's all out of the bag now, and he knows and everything. But yeah, really, really funny stuff.
It is, and just to validate that slightly as well, Sam had said she started listening to the Slimming World one, and she said there's an episode, I messaged Joe regarding intermittent fasting, and she said she was sat at work pissing herself laughing, you know, just like really funny. So I've been told, Sam, and I will do it, Joe, you know, I will get on it and actually listen to a few of the episodes. She said they're really funny. So she's got some new listeners, hopefully, Dave. But again, massive thank you to coming in and doing the SOS signal. I appreciate it. We both do.
Absolutely. Now, Chris, where would you like to start today?
Well, Dave, obviously you missed Casa Amor, and I know Joe said this. I'm sure Dave wants to talk about it, but we've got to talk, Dave, about Olivia. Because I know you have not sat there when you fucking caught up, and you have not fucking been fizzing. So what do you think initially of the Casa Amor reaction when she came back in, and then obviously with tonight's episode as well?
I can't believe how much I cared about some of the reactions. Chris, when she comes in and Kai's there, and fucking hashtag Team Kai as well now. I thought he dealt with it absolutely perfectly, to be honest. Now, someone might disagree. If you do, write in and tell us why. But, he'd made the choice to recouple, and it was a bit of a relief that she had done as well. And he's probably thinking, fucking hell, I'm going to feel really bad. Ron had been saying to Kai that, look, she's not really that into you. As much as you think. I think you're into her a lot more than she is into you. So he was possibly pushed into that way, and he's probably got that doubt in his mind. But Chris, the fucking hypocrisy is just oozing out of her. And we've said all along, well, not quite all along, after a few weeks, like, oh, right, okay. She's a raving fucking narcissist. That's where she is. So, and the fact that she comes in fucking, hand in hand with Maxwell House there, and like, she's just acting as if she's walked in single. And giving it the fucking, oh yeah, a leopard never changes its spots. Fuck off. So, Chris, you're right. Use the word fizzing there. I was fucking fizzing. I was like, fuck off, you fucking hypocrite. And he's like, oh, I don't want any beef. You sent me that note, and it's like, all of that is fucking irrelevant. You are hand in hand with another bloke there. Don't pretend like your shit don't stink.
Yeah, it's true, because her whole skit or whatever the fuck she's doing, Dave, I don't know. I'm like, you can't be that. You cannot be not self-aware of what you've just done. Deflection tactic. Was you hoping to make him jealous? I honestly couldn't work it out. And the way she spoke about Casa and more, it's like, when that video movie night thing comes about, hopefully we'll get to see that, because she went, oh, I don't know what his name is and all this shit, didn't she? Being a smart ass. So it's like,
yeah, he's in the bottom three.
Yeah,
what the fuck has that got to do with the price of fish?
Exactly. It means fuck all on toast. It's absolute nonsense. And also, what got me, Dave, was when tonight they had the chat, and Kai was, we saw it, you saw it. When she came through, he was relieved. He's like, oh, thank God she's got with someone. He's dead happy. Oh, no. She interprets that smile as if to say, oh, he's the fucking cat who got the fucking cream, and she's there tonight going, he's so fake. He's so fake. I almost come back to it was 50-50. You still come back with someone, you fucking dildo. What the fuck sort of argument are you trying to play here, you fucking idiot? What an absolute fucking muppet she is. I'm sorry. And I know she's the second oldest, since Claudia's the oldest, and I'll get on her, Dave, because I'm right off that fucking train. But with her, I'm just like, what are you actually watching? What is going on here? How can you? And then she starts crying later on with the girls, and I'm like, but then the girls validate it. The fucking girls are going, oh, it's terrible. You've just got to move on. I'm like, are you actually fucking serious? The lot of you? It's like what Joe said yesterday, and I genuinely put that in the notes. All the guys forget about each other cheating, and they stick up for the guys and are absolutely outraged. And the girls do the same thing. None of them have got any fucking morals, but when one of them's upset, they all come in like together, don't they? And just fucking like a pat. It's fucking ridiculous. I honestly, Dave, I'm watching it like I'm watching something else here. We're on a different planet. We are 20 years older than these fuckers, and it feels like we're watching something from another fucking solar system.
Yeah. Hopefully they're not beaming this into space.
Don't kill me, alien.
Representation of us. But we've said this for a while now, a few seasons, that you see this pattern that, when someone does something, say you did something, I will interpret that very badly. Oh, Chris, how can you possibly do that?
Yeah.
And then I will do the same thing, and it'll be like, well, there were extenuating circumstances, weren't there? And it's weird, but we see it time and time again. They will chastise someone for, this thing, and then forgive themselves very, very easily for it. And I guess it's a weird kind of coping strategy in this human condition that we all have. So I don't know. It's just, we've never seen, though, this extreme of it. or I haven't. I know, obviously, I haven't seen the earlier seasons of Love Island. But, she seems so far over that way where, to be fair, later on tonight, she did say, I realise I'm a bit of a hypocrite, because I've sort of done the same thing. So I thought, oh, fucking hell, that is the first little sign of, self-awareness there. It's like, watching a child take their first steps. But it's not enough, because she's like, when she's talking to Kai, she's like, yeah, I almost came in single. I was that close to coming in single. And again, I'm fizzing at home and I'm like, but you didn't. But the way she's saying it is like, I was that close to coming in single, which is basically the same as coming in single, and you didn't. So so I have the high ground, Hanneken. I have the high ground. So what an utter fucking bell end. Which is why I said I was going to be a hypocrite, because we don't go in as hard on the girls. But Chris, she is the worst. What is it about reality TV Olivia's that makes them cracking villains?
Oh, I know. She's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Unless she's a fucking setup, Dave. I've seen that online as well. Like she's a setup. It's just because it's like she's having a parallel conversation with Kai when she's talking about what he's done. Kai, you can see Kai. He's genuinely. I say to her, Olivia, fuck off. But he's on fucking Love Island, so he's got to play the game. It's like he is perplexed. He's like going, I didn't go to a fucking uni and get all these degrees to fucking sit here and try and work this equation out. He's fucked, Dave. There's no way he's passing this exam. I don't think anybody's passing this fucking exam in the whole world, because it is. And then she said, like you say, she conceded that she being a hypocrite. But again, it wasn't like, oh, you know what, I've got it completely wrong. She's like, yeah, but he's fake and he's only coming here to stay in the villa. And I'm like, why have you binned him off then? Because he's in the bottom three, Olivia. Again. And we could talk about her all day, Dave, but what a fucking interesting character and a brilliant fucking baddie, like you say, because he's actually made this show all of a sudden interesting.
Yeah. I mean, for her sake, I hope she is a plant. I hope she is acting her fucking tits off, Chris, because if not, what a fucking see you next Tuesday.
She's not gonna in life. She's just not gonna. She will be, Dave, when she gets a bit of fame. This is my prediction. She will be full entourage, fucking Bertie Big Bollocks, as you would say, Dave. She is going to believe her own fucking hype. I'm telling you.
She already does, even without the fame.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. So, Dave, let's just have a quick chat about some of the others. So, what do you think of Claudia and Casey? Because Claudia don't give a fuck about Casey. She was laughing her fucking head off about him, copping off with two of the girls. He was explaining it. Didn't really seem that bothered. And then at the end, she gets this fucking slow-mo thing with the Casa girls. So I'm not a fan, Dave. I've got to say, I think she's fake. I really do think she's fake.
Now, I heard you and Joe talk, and I think you were more... Yeah, you'd said that. You really didn't like the fact she was laughing, and that caused a bit of beef with the Casamorian girls. It's fucking shit the way they have them stood up there, though, isn't it? Like they're getting picked for lunchtime football at school. So I don't like that bit. I saw it a bit of a different way, though. Right, Casa Amor is what, 3 days, 3 full days? It's like an extended fucking weekend. Yeah. And you're like fucking crying, oh no, this guy I met 3 fucking days ago. Oh, he didn't pick me. Oh, fucking, oh. No, Chris. Oh, I didn't get my ticket into the villa. I can't believe it. I'd be fucking laughing my cock off, Chris. It's fucking ridiculous. And, I just thought it was such bullshit. And then, so I guess because of that, I kind of ignored the fact that Claudia was laughing. And whether she was laughing at that or not, I don't know. But, like I said, I just thought it was fucking ridiculous. So if she was laughing, she'd be deserving of that. Now, I'm not quite as far across as where Joe was coming from. She was saying that, it's kind of okay that they fooled around a little bit. They'd only known each other for a few days. I think she's way off with they're going to be together for a while. Right, we'll come back to that prediction, I'm sure. But I kind of think Casey, Casey more than anyone was on his fucking weekend tour of Ibiza, wasn't he? He was enjoying himself, and the fact that he stood up there single, I don't know. I don't think he looked good in any way, to be honest. And I thought, Claudia's position, I thought was believable. She was like, was it that deep? He's like, nah. So yeah, I thought it was fine, but I don't pick up like fake vibes. Why do you say fake out of interest?
Just because she didn't really give a shit. I know they weren't together for long. I don't like a reaction to the Casa girls. It just, yeah. And I'll tell you what is bugging me more than anything. He didn't do it tonight, Dave. But fucking Ian Sterling, it's nothing to do with Claudia. He goes, "Evening, Foggy." It's like, shut the fuck up. I'm sick of these fucking jokes. Luckily, he didn't do it this evening, but it's just pissing me off, Dave. She's on my radar, and I'm just not a fan at all.
Yeah, I thought Ian Sterling was all right, but it is annoying when he goes on about, Carl Fogarty. I have to say, though, Chris, someone posted up the picture of Carl Fogarty, introducing her into the villa, like for a long-awaited. The wording was something about a long-awaited appearance or something like that. Maybe it doesn't mean in all the seasons. Maybe because she knew she was going on, but came quite late into the season. Maybe he was talking about that. But those apps that age you or de-age you, yeah. Carl Fogarty is fucking old Casey, I'm telling you. The picture where he's there, like, introduce her into Love Island, I was like, oh, that looks even more like old Casey now.
Sent to your dinner straight away.
It was I was disturbed before, even more so now. He's not right.
No, it's not, Dave.
We should probably move on from that one.
Yeah, let's move on. So what do you think, Dave, of the Academy Award winning fucking Will? Farmer fucking, sheep fucking herder. I've got called out, actually, one of the emails today regarding my stance on Jessie thinking she was faking it. I do think tonight there was some genuine tears, but fucking Will, Dave. When she was hugging Tom, and obviously initially she put her head into his shoulder. There, Will, and I'm like, oh fuck off, you're fake. But then obviously as soon as it comes back on the episode, she's like, get away from it, leave me alone, sort of thing. But Will's there, fucking Kevin and Perry, Dave, fucking shoulder sloped. All he needed was a little blanket on his shoulder, like he's been sent to bed and he's about 5 years old. It's like he's going to play this fucking card, and then as soon as she gives him the green light, oh my god, he's going to be doing fucking handstands, the okey cokey, fucking all sorts. He's going to be a right fucking dick. But what did you think of the whole thing with them?
I don't think I saw the initial reaction as cynically as you did. I thought she was just a bit surprised. She was a bit shocked. Now, I think I don't exactly know yet where I sit on this, because all along, since Jessie came in with Aaron, fucking the most irrelevant Love Islander who's been on the show, I've kind of wondered, why are you just coupling up with Will? And again, you can't help but be a little bit cynical and say, well, she knows he's really popular. No one was interested in him at all. Jessie hasn't really had any chemistry with anyone else. What is going on? What is the game here? And flying all the way over from Australia and everything. Are you going to settle down here, do a Kylie? I just don't know. And so you're looking for that missing ingredient. What is it that we're not seeing? And so, because Will is, doing the old Curtis storyline, well, not quite the same as Curtis, because I don't think Curtis actually wanted to get back with Amy, but, Will is, he's had a bit of a mistake, hasn't he? On night one, Chris, and again, these fuckers know they are just away for a weekend. And so that's what I'm just puzzled by. If it's not a bit of a setup, if it's not part of the game plan. And I just think that it kind of works almost perfectly for Jessie. Because if you just take it all at face value, it's like, oh, poor Jessie. Oh my God, how's Will done this? And like, she's doing all the crying. I don't know if 100% of the crying was fake. I don't know if all of it was genuine. I think it's somewhere in between. I think, a bit of it is over the top. But but I'm still going around the houses there. I'm a bit on the fence. I think I'm more believing than I'm being cynical about it with her reaction.
Yeah, I think seeing her tonight and crying the way she did, yes, I think there is an actual connection there. The only thing I think that's in the back of my head is because she's a contestant from a couple of years ago and it's name of the game. Has she bought into it? Is it genuine? That's the only question in my head. However, them tears were genuine tonight, definitely. And I think Will's going to be doing his full-on redemption arc now. We need to get her back. They're going to get back together.
Yeah, and if they do, then I will maneuver my current position to being more cynical. Because, like I say, she's an experienced Love Islander. She knows the game. She knows that ultimately, if you go in, couple up from day one, are boring as fuck, people will vote you out because they don't care about you.
Yes.
You need a bit of drama, a bit of screen time. So, it's kind of a if it is the plan, it is working very well at the minute. And so, yeah, I'm not ruling out at all. They'll end up with this glorious reconciliation. They'll do boyfriend and girlfriend. The timing is almost perfect, for that run through to the final. So, yeah, I like I say, that's why I'm a bit on the fence with it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Dave, because I think you're right. There's a lot going on as well within the couples. And this has happened so many times, hasn't it? The same formula. Someone cheats and, there's a redemption. As you said, when you sent your messaging, it's the Lehman really...
A test, Chris. It's all a test, not cheating.
Sorry, it's not a test. It's a test. Yeah,
it's not cheating, yeah.
So talking about a test, Dave, Tanya, it's been a test all along, apparently, Dave. She was testing herself. Now, I've got to give Martin his due. He stood there like a fucking spare prick at a wedding when she was absolutely nailing him to the fucking cross. She was fucking nailing him to the fucking cross. She's basically saying, this guy's here, but really, Shaq, I'm doing it. He was just bad. Poor Martin, whatever we think, we know he's blagging it. He's on a holiday, he's in there. He held her to task. He actually told her and held her to task and actually said, I don't appreciate that. And I've got to say, Dave, Tanya, she's fucking crying. I mean, Shaq got upset. He was crying. The guys, the team hug and all this. Tanya, her whole dialogue tonight and her whole reasoning is fucking bollocks. It's basically, she, to be fair, she's done what most of the guys done, Dave. She's had the cake, she's ate it, and now she's like, I don't really know if I want it now.
I'll have another cake, please.
Yeah, I'll have another one. So she's some of her dialogue made no fucking sense, and she's now trying to play the fact that she's on the back foot, almost doing an Olivia. And Shaq was sticking to his guns, fair play. He had a word with Martin. He said, there's no hard lines or anything, it's part of the game. But then she's like making it out like it's right, and obviously the love thing comes into it. Shaq said I'd never do that. I think she's fake. I think more than anything, watching her tonight, it's absolute bollocks. I'm not saying that she should stay with Shaq because there was a few things there for her that obviously made her turn her head, and I've got no real thingy on that. That's fine, no problem. But everything she was saying tonight, I was like, you are absolutely fake. And again, the girls, like Lana with Olivia when she was crying, they just fucking validate it. And the guys do the same, don't they? They like validate the bad behaviour. And I don't agree with that. When Shaq was laying into people, and someone said that one of the emails, the girls need someone like Shaq within the girls who will just tell them straight and say, well, you don't understand why he's upset. And no one's done that with any of the girls and the guys, because obviously Shaq's in his situation. Shaq's not telling the other guys now. So it's like the bad behaviour is just rewarded all the time.
Yeah. And we see from people like Zara, when they do call people out, they don't last very long. So that's the unfortunate thing. So it's like, yeah, you cheated on him. Oh, but you had good reasons, didn't you? Yeah. Honestly, I don't know if it's Tanya being fake. I feel more honestly when I was watching Tanya tonight. I'm just thinking, you know what? This is why Love Island should have a minimum fucking age of 25 because she just came across to me as just so immature and unable to have the. She doesn't have the emotional intelligence to actually realize what she's doing, which again causes a bit of drama, which is great for us. But, like you say, saying that stuff about a speed bump and stuff, and it's like, he's right there.
Yeah.
he's,
Yeah.
he's right next to you. Kind of might have feelings as well. But it's like she almost forgot he was there and she was just talking completely to Shaq. And then she is talking out of both sides of her mouth, though, isn't she? I mean, she's utterly full of shit, as much as any of the guys are. Because when she's talking to Shaq, she's like, "Oh yeah, well, I am going to pursue you," and saying the same thing to Martin and that. And I don't know. I kind of feel like Shaq does look very upset with it. He said about how he loves her. Why are you still here, sunshine? Why are you still here?
Yeah.
Because if you really were that distraught, I don't think you'd be there. So what is next for them? I'm not ruling out another redemption for them. I mean, I can't see Shaq coupling up. I think Martin. Look, everything I saw in Casa, to be honest with Martin, when he looks at people, he kind of looks at them with a bit of disdain. I wouldn't rule out Martin, coupling up with someone else.
He could do, and I think you're right. And that was one of the things I noticed. It was one of the lines one of the guys said to him, to Shaq, was basically, "Well, you could find someone else." I'm thinking, it doesn't work. If he genuinely loves her, he's not going to get with someone else because if he does, this whole thing's been a load of bollocks, hasn't it? Let's be honest. So that's when his head went down, and I'm thinking, well, his journey's done. I agree with that. I didn't think too deeply into it, but I did notice that dialogue, and I was thinking, well, he's doing nothing. He's gone basically. So that's a great point, Dave. A really, really good point.
Yeah, but let's see where it goes. I think, like I say, it was a little bit weird with them too.
Yeah, it was good.
But Chris, I do have to say, right now, probably if James is still listening, he's going to be shaking his fist at whatever podcast listening device he's on, right? Because fucking Tom is a bellend. And I know we all want to fucking forgive him, for when I say we, I mean, there's a lot of people out there, because maybe he's fit or we think he's a good guy and whatever. He is so fucking full of shit. And he believes what he says when he's like, yeah, I don't want to hurt anyone. He's like a fucking bull in a china shop. A bull who's like, oh, fuck, shit, sorry, mate, I didn't mean that. Oh, fuck, it's all right, I'll pay for that. He's a fucking dick. And the fact that Sammy actually clocked the fact that he uses the same lines, it's like, oh, yeah, it'd be really good to have a kiss outside the challenge. You've been fucking rumble, sunshine. And you were shitting it when the Casamore girls were going to have a chat.
His face was brilliant on it.
It's like a small child who's been caught with chocolate all around the mouth, and it's like, who's eating the chocolate? Don't know. I don't want to hurt anyone. I wanted to share the chocolate with everyone.
I love, you know what got me, Dave, about the Casamore, like, when they were coming back again, it was Tom's face when Will revealed what he'd done. And Tom's like, oh, fuck, I've done it even worse. And you can see he was absolutely shitting it. He put his head down. It was great. The way the producers, they did it well there. They panned to all the cheaters and they were just like, oh, fuck.
They were like meerkats, weren't they? Yeah, just popping over.
Oh, amazing. Now, Dave, we have got some corking emails. So here we go. This one's from Betsy. It's her first time emailing him. And she's put ahead of the bell end curve, Dave. So it's definitely something that. Greetings from the US. I've been a long time listener. Thought I'd finally write in since Dave is away. Being from the US, I'm always on an episode behind. Just finished episode 31 last night, so here are my thoughts. Casting has been atrocious this season. Not a single OG is likeable, but the rest are so unlikable that I actually find myself rooting for Ronna. Oh no, come on now, Betsy. I agree with everyone in thinking that Jesse is playing the game. Will was well on his way to becoming the next Dr. Alex, Anton, etc. And she knew he was low-hanging fruit. I think the only reason that this move hasn't worked out in previous seasons that, unlike the aforementioned Will actually has some charm to him, and she ended up really liking him. Either way, she's already a seasoned Islander, and this was a calculated, safe play. Tanya and Shaq are over. For the apparent morals we've seen from him, I've also seen some hints of possessive controlling behaviour. Whether Tanya comes back alone or not, I think he will absolutely kick off over her behaviour and put her off of him for good. Olivia, where do we start? Aside from being the most shameless narcissist I've ever seen on TV, she's also a shit stirrer and utterly produced. But damn, does she make for some good TV. And finally, it always baffles me that both the boys and the girls find the Casa genuine. Are they so blindsided by their egos that they forget they're literally plot devices fighting for their lives for some screen time? Especially in Will's case, though, I do find him cute and charming. Does he really think that Layla, or whatever her name is, would even go for him on the outside? Unbelievable. Thanks for the laughs, brutal honesty, and new slang over the years. Love from Wisconsin, Betsy. So, great email that, Dave.
Yeah, that fucking Layla. She needs to stop shopping for bras in Baby Gap.
Even when they went for the meal,
it's some fucking bras that actually fit you.
Have you borrowed your younger sister's fucking outfits or something? It was just fucking nonsense, wasn't it? yeah. We won't go down that route as two gentlemen, Dave. But I do agree with that comment. I was the same, like, nah, it's not for me. So anyway, Dave, this is another one off our great friend Chrissy. And Joe will be listening to this. Joe letting me down, Dave. Unfortunately, Joe,
controversial.
Chrissy down. Hi, Chris, and welcome back, Dave. I was excited to hear Joe's take on the podcast about the Casa fallouts, but then she came to Casey and Claudia's defence. No. While I do agree it wasn't a problem for Casey to explore and have fun since he was only coupled up for a few days before, I think he really did Cynthia dirty stringing her along. Every time they talked, he said, "You have such good chat. You have the best chat since I've been in here. You're so this and that." And the whole time he was fooling her and me too, because I thought for sure he had a better connection with her. If he really wasn't that into her, that was a complete shit. That was just complete shit to say all of those things. Then say exactly what I had with Claudia is too special. Fuck off. And to add insult to injury, Casey and Claudia started laughing while the girl is trying her best to hold back the tears. I was livid watching that. They both can fuck off and ride into their washed up TV has been sunset together. The bell ends, David. It's so good this, we're using our slang, our words. But Joe did win me back immediately with that Olivia rant. I think we were all yelling at the TV like, what the fuck are you smoking, Olivia? Oh my God, she is so stupid. She actually made boring Kai look good, and I don't think any of the girls will actually tell her to shut up. These are the moments I miss Tanya and Zara the most. They were the only two to ever call Olivia out on her bullshit. I'm sure Lana will back her up yet again like the little minion she is, and she did. I was right with you, Chris, when it was Lana and Ron reunited. The love story nobody gives two shits about. Don't let them win. I know Chris and Dave don't believe anything that comes out of Jesse or Will's mouths, but I think I'm rooting for them. I agree with Joe that Will just make a mistake and was trying to show off how fun of a guy he is after he was said to be so boring or whatever it was. And they really saved the best for last with Shaq and Tanya. He was so confident. It was so funny when two people leave in a conversation on completely different pages, but think they're still on the same page. I do think Tanya will regret it because I don't think Martin is really into her, and I think she ruined her chance to win. I do believe they have a very good chance, but probably not anymore. We'll see. Once again, sorry for the long email, but what a juicy episode. You'll have to have Joe back sometime to combat both of your cynical views. How dare you, Chrissy? That is a disgrace. Say such a thing.
Well, I think, I just, the thing I can't get over is the Casamorians, right? They know the brief. They know they have a short amount of time, And I know we kind of feel like the original premise of the show is to come on the show, obviously provide entertainment for us, but find someone. And that's the nucleus, isn't it? That's what we're married to. But now with this kind of influencer age that we're in, it's not that. It's your shot. These people have all, gone through the audition process and all of that. They've had their interviews and they know what's out on the other side. And the girls who are in Casa Amor, they would have hoped that they would have been OGs. Everyone wants to be an OG, really. But they didn't get that, and they come into Casa Amor, and the best outcome is to couple up with someone.
Yeah.
And so you go after someone, and so you're having to act like 120, 150% of your normal self. How many times, Chris? No, not so much nowadays. When you're getting a bottle of 2020 and heading down the disco, and you're just like, I just don't really fancy it tonight. Just chat with my mates here. But they can't do that. They don't have the luxury. They know they've got an extended weekend. It's like fucking Easter weekend, pretty much, isn't it? 3, maximum 4 days in there. So I just to be a complete hypocrite, I'll jump to the other side and say, well, actually, to be fair, Casey and bloody Claudia didn't have as long, did they? In the first place. But I just can't buy the reaction. About it's not that fucking deep. It's a weekend fling. And unfortunately, if you don't get picked, it means you're shot at getting all of that juicy screen time and getting into the public's mind, and hopefully the public are going to like you, and that means you set up at least for the next few years. That's gone. So, for me, that's what the reaction was about. It's not actually Casey.
Good work there, Dave. I like that. Good analysis. Now, this is a great name. Justin sent a great email and it's put Justice for Jesse. Long time listener here. Love your podcast so much. Started listening for Love Island commentary, but now I'm watching Maths Australia too. And oh my God, it's probably the best reality show ever created. Anyway, it's my first message to you because I need to strongly disagree with Chris. Now, Dave, there's not many people do that.
Nice. I'm liking this one already.
Saying Jesse's a game player. Her reaction to Will crying and making himself a victim made perfect sense to me. She seemed to be in such shock and didn't know how to react or what to think. And because she's naturally a kind and caring person, she's probably just automatically started to comport him and wanted to make everything better. But 5 minutes later, her body language changed and we could see a huge difference. She was fuming. I honestly think she's one of the most genuine people on this season, and Will is just a big loser for doing that to her. Yeah, anyway, that's my opinion about it, and the reason I'm writing about this since I'm already here. Let me just say 2 more things. First one, oh my God, can't wait for Olivia to be in the bottom next time there's voting while Kai is sitting safe on that bench. Her face will be the most rewarding thing ever. I've never disliked a female islander more. The hypocrisy. She really thinks she's a main character and she's just not. And now for the second thing. This is a message to the whole of the UK. I'm from Poland, so I can't vote. But if people of the UK let Ron and Lana win, I will sue you all, every single one of you. Ron is just Jake, but a little more low-key. And it's crazy to me that people are actually buying this crap. Anyway, wow, that was a longer than I wanted it to be. And also, sorry for my English. No, it's great email. Perfect. English is not my first language. You guys are doing a great job with this podcast. Love you, just now. So what a great email, Dave.
Unless you'd put that end bit, I wouldn't have known, to be honest.
No?
Certainly a lot better than my Polish. So, so the first bit, so Jesse, I said earlier, I'm more on the fence. I think it's more genuine than what you're thinking, but I think as well, like, you always come to this with your own experience, even knowing what the show is. There are humans ultimately, even though some of the scenarios are all set up and whatever. You've still got it's unscripted, isn't it? Almost like the wrestling, Chris. Predetermined maybe, but not scripted. You must have been as well, but you're in that situation and something happens, and you react in a way because we're both quite laid back and we're kind of people pleasers, I would say.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of like, look, it's okay, it's fine, whatever. But then you chew on it, and then you process it a bit more, and then you're like, hang about, no. That's not fucking fine at all. So I think the kind of inconsistency with how she reacted, I think that's one of the things that makes me feel like it is more genuine, because you've been in that situation, I'm sure yourself, where you react in a way initially, but then it takes you a bit of time to process. So yeah, I like I say, I'm more on the fence, but I think the next few weeks will kind of help us understand whether that was more of a cynical play. But at the minute, she's got the benefit of the doubt from me.
That's fair enough. Now, this one, Dave, is a great email from Lucy, but it's a long one. And I've got to say, when I saw this first line, it sent a shiver down my thigh, Dave. I don't
You're
know.
fine.
Not down my thigh. I apologise for that, Lucy. Down my spine. And it simply says, Dave, and we've both been on the receiving end of this, never believe it when a woman says, it's fine. Now,
Yeah, we do know that, Chris.
yes.
Even though we don't know a lot, we do know that.
There is nothing worse when I have pissed off my wife and I go, is everything okay? Yeah, I'm fine. And I think, this is going to be in at least 2 hours. I'm getting a bollocking for Summit here when she's cooled down, because Sam can be a firecracker, Dave. And I genuinely, so then what happens is, because I know it's coming, I start prodding her, and not in the good way. And I start going, what's up? Just tell me now. I'm not going to get, really bugs me now. I'm like, what have I done wrong? Does he say people please? I'm like, what? And then when she's ready, Dave, she drops the bombshell, and I've been on the receiving end of that so many times. So it fills me with dread, but not down my thigh, Dave, down my back. Anyway, she said, I really don't understand why so many people continue to insist that Jessie is fake. She has been exactly the same kind, considerate, quirky, thoughtful person on both series of Love Island. I've got the receipts below. I also don't get why people think that she's faking it with Will. In her intro video from the first episode of Love Island Australia, she literally says that the type of guy she usually goes for is the loudest, funniest guy in the room. Isn't that who Will is? So, how is she not being genuine when she said guys like Will were her type back in 2019? Either people do not bother to watch her season, or they believe that she somehow has clairvoyant abilities and was able to predict that she would be cast on Love Island UK, where she would date a quirky, funny guy a few years down the line. If that's the case, let's give her the money and brand deals now. Also, in Love Island Australia, she talked multiple times about how she's been cheated on. In this series, we see her struggling to stay open and let herself trust despite her past. That's why this is such a big deal for her to think that she finally found a guy she could be with and trust, only to be let down again. So her emotional reaction this week probably runs deeper than just being hurt by Will. That's the part that breaks my heart for her the most. From my perspective, she was incredibly hurt by what happened and handled it with grace and vulnerability. If she were fake, she would try to make a scene to get as much attention as possible, like Olivia always does. Now, you know what, Dave? I know we're not finished the email, but that is a great point, actually. That's a very good point. Maybe some people think she's fake because her face doesn't show much emotion. However, I think her face shows as much emotion as her... I think her face, I'll read that again, shows as much emotion as her Botox will allow. Or maybe people assume she is fake because she responds to...
You know what? I didn't want to say it, but like Olivia, I'm sure she's trying to frown.
Yeah, but she speaks, doesn't she? She mumbles. That's what it is, Dave. Like, right, I'm sorry, I'm totally doing that guy. You know?
It sounds like fucking George and Zippy.
Yeah. Hey, Bongo, you know? My impressions are getting worse. That's a great line, that, Lucy. That's proper dummy, that, right? So let me ask you this. As a kid, was it worse when you did something terrible and your parents yelled, or when they were stoically silent afterwards for a while? It always worse when people are eerily quiet, as I said at the start, Lucy. Definitely. I want the crash bang wallets and the plates thrown at my head. I must admit, Lucy, if that happens. I don't want the quietness. It just really...
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. My mum had some fucking pipes on it. I don't know about that one. I know the point that she's trying to make there, but I think I'd take silently stewing over being read the riot act,
Well, true. I mean,
getting the
saying that,
fucking hairdryer treatment.
it's that picture in it where the bloke sat there having the time of his life playing on his fucking PlayStation or Xbox, and he sat there going, "Oh, it's been so quiet today." And then you've got the next captions, his wife going, "I'm not fucking speaking to him, the bastard," and he's just like totally unaware of it. Fucking brilliant. I've been there many a times. Anyway, maybe I'm protecting on Jessie because I was the woman who comforted a crying arsehole who cheated on me while I appeared to be fine externally. In my case, that didn't mean I wasn't hurting. It meant that my walls went up and I went numb as soon as I knew something was wrong. It's a defense mechanism that came from being hurt in the past. From Jessie's history, I think we have that in common. I saw myself in how she shut down her emotions and stoically stared forward while hugging herself until she could escape the situation. If you know anything about trauma and stress responses that people have, then it's easy to spot them in her actions. She was initially guarded herself when she came in and she was hesitant. Then you see her slowly start going into the freeze and appease responses, and when she reads the room and realizes something bad happened, it was incredibly heartbreaking to watch her go through that. I sincerely hope Jessie does not forgive Will. He might be a nice guy when he grows the fuck up and learns that he doesn't have to stick his tongue in another person's mouth to see if his feelings are real, but he's clearly not grown up right now. I think it would be incredibly hard for her to trust him again, considering that he told her he has love for her, that he was not interested in getting to know anyone else, that he was looking forward to their future outside the villa, and that he was falling for her. Also, after their conversation about the balloon thing with Ellie, he knew that even flirting with another girl would bother her, not to mention they had sex. Then less than 24 hours after she leaves, he's making out with some chick he just met and letting her talk shit about his relationship with Jessie. I just cannot with this test bullshit anymore. It's fucking ridiculous, delusional, to be honest. I think it's okay to do that to another person that you allegedly care about. On a somewhat related note, I tried to like the new official Love Island podcast, but it continues to be disappointing. Unlike yours, Sam Thompson has had it out for Jessie since she came on the show, and I find his insistence that she is fake playing a game to be especially perplexing, because he seems to be basing that opinion on the fact that she has been on other reality shows. It's a fucking weird stance for a man in a long-term relationship with a woman that has been on many reality TV shows. I don't know, it just reeks of some unresolved issues with Zara, perhaps, because Zara cheated on him with a guy she met on a reality TV show. So he assumes all women that are on multiple shows are shady. Regardless of the reason for this Jessie hate boner, in my opinion, After Sun Crew and the official Lauren podcast owe Jessie an apology because she has done nothing to deserve the way she's been spoken about. Sorry for the long email. I appreciate your dedication to reality TV. Keep up the great work, Jessie. So, you know what, Dave? I know we were laughing about the start bit. Like, obviously, Lucy shared something, that's happened in her life and she can see that. But I don't like Sam Thompson, and I know who he is. He's a fucking no-mark. He's been on every reality TV show going. So how he can... I think he was in Made in Chelsea originally. So I've never watched it, so I can't give an opinion. But it's interesting that the official podcast's gone down that line and actually digging her out. I've not... Maybe they've been listening to us and gone, hang on, we need to fucking be a bit more honest. But that's interesting, that.
I think you might have just topped Olivia's narcissism. Fucking hell. Oh, yeah. Oh, the fucking morning after's been listening to us. You fucking bellend. I don't think so. I think that's more just them being dicks. I mean, I think... So I used to listen to the odd episode of the official one, but where I just stopped was just when they wouldn't call out some of the terrible behavior and some of the really toxic elements of it. And it was like, it's towing the party line just a bit too much. But I tell you what, Chris, what a fantastic email. And that's moved me another few points away from my kind of cynicism, and more towards believing it. I guess, right, I'm potentially on dodgy ground here. Why do I have suspicions initially? Well, she's come a very, very long way to do a reality TV show that she's already been on.
Yeah.
I feel like Jessie could walk into any room and get any guy. But she didn't. She went straight for Will. And Will is fucking... I mean, this might go over the heads of most of our listeners, but Will is fucking Frank Spencer, right? he's just a bit goofy, a bit silly, and I can't quite. The neurons in my brain just can't quite join that up. And so you're thinking, well, what is it? What is it that we're not seeing? Because Jesse, you could have anyone, and you choose fucking Will. Right? So that's the bit that maybe that's being transparent. That's why I'm, initially suspicious, and I suspect, other people certainly you wouldn't hear that take on on the morning after, but having that kind of perception maybe means, well, they're going to talk around it, and I don't know. I've not listened to it, but yeah, like yourself, I'm quite surprised that they would have that take on the official cast.
Yeah, it's a strange one. And also, Dave, I'm taking Umbridge's review there. We're a fucking big deal, if you don't mind. I've less of that fucking chat. People don't listen to us, Dave. You are correct, by the way. Narcissistical. I need to start mumbling.
What movie is that from? Where it's a big deal.
Yeah. A big deal. It sounded worse than what I meant, but that's not what I was saying. But anyway, Dave. Thank you. Thanks for coming back, mate. It's been great. I've missed you for a few days. Joe filled in so well. And it is good to have the OGs back. But we will have to get Joe on again. I said at the start of the show, definitely.
Absolutely.
Such good fun. If you want to email us, guys, and some amazing emails, thank you so much there. Great perspectives. And I think, some real... interesting and honest conversation there. So thank you for sharing with us all. It's so good. I'm glad you're enjoying the show as well. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, @cdrealitycast. Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast on Facebook. 480 people on there, guys. We're only 20 away. Come and join us, please. 500 is fastly approaching. So thank you so much for everyone who's joining up, and loads of conversation. It's great. Honestly, it's so active on there, and the chat and everything. And I've said it a few times, a few people asking where the chat is. It should be in your message requests on Facebook, guys. Just have a look in there in your message section. Get over to patreon.com/CD Realitycast if you would like to support us a bit more. So today's roll call of honour, Dave, is Nicola, Schmade Music, Emma, Fiona, Cassie, Megan, Kate, Maggie, Kristen, Zoe. Dave, I need to breathe here. I've lost it now. Gillian, Michelle, Keith, Helen, Brianna, Chloe, Noreen, Joanna, Glibby, Katie, Dee Dee, Priscilla, Susan, Hennessy, Tracy, Lauren, Lucky Lou Green, and Ken Gustafson. So thank you so much, everybody. So good. The amount of people supporting the podcast, it's so nice. Thank you, guys. It's really, really humbling. And we go into another week, Dave. We're now going to get at least 12 hours off before we record again, Dave. So savor them 12 hours, my friend, before we're back from Maths Australia.
I think, and it's weird, isn't it? It was like 2 days, and I missed talking to you about this shit. But, like I say, 32 episodes. That's when we got to the Casa recoupling. I've watched fucking HBO shows that are shorter than that. So, I hope it keeps up this level of drama, or maybe even not this much, but somewhere around this ballpark. I do have to say, Chris, though, I mean, I sent you the trailer, didn't I? After this season of Love Island, I've kind of had my fill of reality TV, but saw a trailer for MILF Manor.
Oh yeah, I've been telling you about this one. It looks amazing.
It sort of does look amazing. So I'm not actually sure when that one comes out, but I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking watching that.
Don't you dare say anything. If we go straight into that after this
oh no, fuck that. Just watch it,
It's your fault. Anyway, Dave, go and enjoy yourself. Have a break, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks to everyone out there for listening to us. Thanks to all our supporters, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.